Good evening again. Merwin K. Smith, candidate for re-election for Lenore County Board of Education. I know you say this guy sure does come on mighty late. But by the time I get home, like I was at the polls today, and eat and relax for a minute, then I have time to come up here. So I just want to come on tonight just for a few minutes and just give you a little information on why I think you should vote for me. We have a lot of accomplishments in Lenore County Public Schools since I've been on the school board. And most recently, we are proud of the things that we've accomplished here lately. Um, Even in the last 4 years, we've accomplished a lot. We've come a long ways. And as I said on last night's recording, I think it's amazing that we have a 90.3% graduation rate for the last 4 year cohort. So, but let me tell you the thing that I'm most proud of. And this wasn't something that just came about this year. This is something that has been in the works for several years, trying to get the funding to build a new Frink Middle School. So, one of the things that I'm most proud of is the $52 million grant that we did receive to build a brand new Frink Middle School. And thanks to the county commissioners, who I think we have a excellent working relationship with, and you can't say that about a lot of other counties don't have the relationship we have with our county commissioners, but we have a great relationship, and they chipped in the other 5 million so we could complete the project. Now, the beauty of having these funds is once Frink Middle School is built, it is paid for. Let me say that again. Once Frink Middle School is built, it is paid for. We don't owe anybody any money, any bond referendums, or anything. It is paid for. That is outstanding. I hope that the citizens of Lenore County, especially LaGrange area, are as excited about this project as we are. We broke ground for that project, I think, last Monday. Now, um, another accomplishment for the school system. And if you have one of my door hangers or one of my cards, you should see it on the back where I'm reading from what I listed up here. So we are one of two leading school districts in the Southeast region for digital learning. Well, there was a person that commented under my Facebook um, post that was from News News that said that's good and it's bad. And for the post part said the bad part is that teachers just give the iPads to students just to keep them busy. Well, that couldn't be further from the truth. Our teachers work hard, and the things that are on the iPad are lessons that they have planned. They don't just give kids iPads to give them busy work, but they actually have assignments. And if the people that are commenting like that would actually look at our digital showcase during some of our school board meetings, they could actually see what our children are doing with the technology. This is the 21st century. Um, like it or not, that's where we are. And the iPads and technology is what's going to help propel those students further in life, because now when you're seeking these new jobs, they want to know that you're technology savvy and that you can handle your digital devices. Another thing is that we're the only school system in North Carolina to have 12 schools designated as Apple Distinguished Schools. Now, to do that, there's a lot entails that the schools have to do. Now, all of our schools are, as you know, all of our students have iPads. All of our teachers have iPads. Administrators have MacBooks and that type of thing. So there's some different things that had to be put together to be considered that. The other thing that I'm really proud of is our graduation rate is at an all-time high, and the dropout rate is at an all-time low. Remember, a few moments ago, I told you our graduation rate was 90.3%. And that is outstanding. The next thing is that all of our children for several years now have had free breakfast and free lunch. Well, it started off with free breakfast, and there was somebody that commented on my page said, "Well, any school board member or so could have done that." Well, my answer was, but they didn't. When I came on the board, and I explained this before, there was the superintendent at the time. I was in another county where they had free breakfast. And so I know the superintendent that we had at the time was, responsible for getting it off the ground and getting it done. So I asked him, I said, now what can we do here in Lenoir County so that our kids can get free breakfast? And so he told me what it took. And I asked him, well, would you mind just going ahead and see if we can push that forward? And he did. And that's how it started. Our children had free breakfast. Then the administration later on did the application with the FDA that has to be done and to get free lunch as well. So, why is that important? A child can't learn if they're hungry. So we have to feed them. Well, somebody asked me today about how did they get fed or something to the effect during the pandemic. That keeps just popping up for some reason. That's gone. But I did answer them. I told them we fed kids every day at the schools, and also had vans and buses going into some of the neighborhoods to feed the children. So that's what we did. In 23 and 24, Lenoir County Public Schools was the only district in our region to receive a fifth NCDPI coding grant. Coding is with computers and programming them to do certain things. The world now is a digital world, and our kids are learning it even in high school how to do coding. So that is extremely important. So I came on tonight just to tell you a few things that have been accomplished since I've been on the board and recently within the last year or within the last 4 years. So I think that it's important to know what the school board has done. Excuse me. Some think that just because you're on the PTA, PTO, or you have volunteered in schools that makes you a prime candidate, for the school board. It's a whole lot more than that. Um, Also, they talk about they need somebody on the board who um, wants to engage parents. Well, we already do that. I would like for them to be a little bit more specific, but just being on the PTA or the PTO and volunteering does not mean that you're good in governing. It's a whole new ball game. What people see on Monday nights when we have our meeting is a formality. And when I say that, I mean it's a formal meeting. People don't see what goes on behind the scenes, the different committees that we serve on to have things to keep things moving in the district. We can even go back to the grant. There's a committees that has to meet, and they have to meet with the contractor, had to meet with the developer, had to meet with several different people. It didn't just come together automatically. We had to do a lot of work behind the scenes. And that's what a lot of things, even budgeting, there's a lot of work that's done behind the scenes. Um, Everything that you see in the meetings, we are working behind the scenes to make things happen. We don't just come out on Monday nights and just have a meeting and that's all it is to it. There's a lot of work that we put in behind the scenes. And what makes it so easy for us is that we have a great administration in place. That's the key to having a great administration. We have a great superintendent, associate superintendent, assistant superintendent, and then the administration that are under them. It takes all of that to make it work. And it takes a board to be able to hire the right people, put the right people in the right places to make things happen. Things that you see don't just happen, but there's a lot of work that's put into place. And, I could keep going on and on about all the accomplishments and all the things that we've done. But I really wanted you to know the things that we have accomplished and why I think that you should vote to keep me in office for another 4 years. I think we have a great board now. We have a good working relationship. Oh, and I left out, I can't forget this, the awesome relationship that we have with Lenoir Community College. Dr. Rusty Hunt is a valuable person to us, and I hope we are to him. The collaboration that we have with Lenoir Community College is outstanding. I haven't seen that type of collaboration in any other county. But I just say my hats off to Lenoir Community College and Dr. Rusty Hunt for the work that they do in collaborating with us. So it takes all of that to make a great school system. We are a school system and not a system of schools. So again, I hope that I've enlightened you a little bit. And I hope that if you already voted today, that you voted for me. If you haven't voted, I'm asking you for your vote. When you go to the polls, vote Merwin K. Smith, Board of Education at large. When you turn the ballot over, Board of Education is on the back. Please turn it over first and circle in my name, and then turn it back over and do the other, because I don't want you to forget the Board of Education and how important that is. And please, please take somebody to the polls with you to vote. Encourage everybody to vote. It is our civic duty to go to the polls and vote. Again, Merwin K. Smith, Board of Education at large. Thank you so much for listening, and have a great rest of your evening.